Hello, I am Jean-François Denise from the WildFly team. Today in this demonstration I am going to show you how you can use WildFly MCP server with Gemini CLI. I am going to put myself into the shoes of a complete WildFly beginner and use this tooling in order to discover how I can deploy, run my application, even do a bit of monitoring and management of my server without knowing anything about the technology. So the first thing is from the WildFly MCP GitHub project, I am going to clone the repository. So I am copying the URL there. Then in a terminal, I am going to clone the repository. There are multiple subdirectories and we go to the WildFly MCP server 1. Then we are going to install, but I don't want to run the test. I want a faster build of the MCP server. So during the time that the server is building, I am going to show you how to configure Gemini CLI to use the WildFly MCP server. So in the .gemini directory that has been created when you launched the first time Gemini CLI, you have a settings.json file. In this file, I have added the MCP server section with WildFly, that is a Java application, and that takes two arguments, -jar, then the absolute path to the MCP server that we are currently building. So let's look if our build is complete. It's just terminated. Okay, it's time now to start Gemini CLI. So in this directory, I've got kitchensink.war, a war file that I'm going to use for my demo. So I am starting Gemini. And the first thing to do is to type Ctrl+T, and you can see the status of the WildFly MCP server. It is ready, and the set of tools it is exposing. So as I said, I am going to put myself into a complete WildFly beginner. So the question I'm going to ask are very high level, someone that wants to get started without really knowing. So I want to run my kitchen sink application with WildFly. That is my first question. What it is going to provide us with. It is working. So it discovered a tool provisioning WildFly server for deployment. That seems quite good. Let's see what it is going to happen. I am accepting that it calls this tool. He has deployed the application. He has provisioned the server and he wants to start the server. Good thing he knows about our standalone launcher. Let's accept that. And he wanted to use another tool to get the deployment status, but it seems that it called it first too early. It is successful and I can access to my application. I am going to, okay, here it is. We can see that the kitchen sink application is up and running. So that's already something. So now I'm going to ask it if there is a way to manage this server. Very high level question. Oh. What did he provided us? Yes, there are several ways to manage a server. I can provision a new server with management capabilities. First, I will check what management add-ons are available for your application. We can see a bunch of them. And he is suggesting 4 interesting add-ons: a web-based management console, all the CLI, OpenAPI, and metrics. Okay, yes, provision them all, please. We can see that it stopped the server and it is provisioning again the server. He wants to add a single user named admin with password admin. That's great. Generally for management you need users. And it is starting again the server. The new server is running. You can manage it using the following: web console. I can see the command line interface, accessing the OpenAPI, accessing the metrics. That's great. I want to access the web console. Let's see how it works. I am going to copy the link and switch to the browser. Okay, it didn't ask me for admin and admin because I previously logged with the same credentials to the console. So I can see the deployment and we have an up and running console. So actually it has been smoother than what I thought. Now I want perhaps to go one step further and ask for more documentation. Yeah, I can access the documentation. I can show you in my terminal that when I ask for documentation, it retrieves the wildfly.org documentation. I am going to open it. Here we are. I can navigate and discover in detail WildFly technology. And finally, I am going to ask Gemini to, can you stop my server? It is calling a shutdown server MCP tool. Okay, so actually it has been quite smooth. I was expecting perhaps a bit more steps and try and failure, but really it has been quite smooth. The first time I tried WildFly MCP server with Gemini. So I hope you have been interested by this demonstration. We plan to release soon a new release of this WildFly MCP server with all the provisioning features that I demonstrated. Thank you very much. Goodbye.